It feels good, Taurus, doesn't it? It feels good to persevere over something. There's some type of long journey that you've been on, and you are approaching the light at the end of that tunnel driven focus. That's exactly how I heard it. Tunnel driven focus, Taurus. That's what you've had. That's where you've been. And it's been a very long time coming. And it's like right there at that sweet spot of knowing you're halfway there. You can see the light. And ready to, like, I don't even feel like you really care to have a victory dance or to celebrate this big accomplishment. This big, for some of you guys, it's something as small as a habit, you know what I'm saying? Something that you committed to. There's some type of commitment or promise that you made to yourself, and you're almost there. And it feels good to know, like, damn, I did that. But you don't even want to celebrate it. I'm tapped into someone that doesn't even want to, you don't really care to even celebrate it. Even though you're finally seeing the light at the end of the tunnel, you're finally seeing something pick up for you, some type of good luck. You know, the moment that you get ready to relax, kick your feet up, and finally be at peace, that you aren't really done. You know what I'm saying? You know you can't really kick your feet up. You know you can't really celebrate. It's not over for you. So I'd be a liar if I told you that it was time for you to, like, you made it, kick your feet up, you're done. I would be lying to you. The truth is, I feel like you are battling a inner demon right now. And this inner demon is very persistent. This demon goes by the name of complacency. Yeah. And in order to conquer this demon, you have to accept that you aren't Thanos and I ain't Iron Man. This is no snap your finger and all of your troubles go away. And I'm not about to sit here and go back and forth with you about taking that power from you to get you to see that you're being extreme in a situation. You gonna make your decision, and I'm gonna stand the fuck down. I am not playing Iron Man. When you fighting inner demons, it's you against you. It don't matter who comes into your life, a motivational speaker, a therapist, life coach, tarot reader, psychic, oracle. It don't matter what we say. The only person capable of fighting those inner demons are you. And if we came through and did anything, it would be temporary. Just like it was a temporary fix. It was a temporary reality shift. And we'll be repeating the same cycle and going through the same tunnel. Because once you got your mind made up on something, no one can stop you but you. So I don't know what it is that you have this tunnel vision, tunnel focus on, but your guides, your ancestors, spirit is standing down. I have my orders, and my orders is to, I'm gonna watch the story unfold. I'm gonna watch the story unfold. And I asked Spirit, I said, what is your message for Taurus? What do you want me to say to Taurus? And they told me you already know the answer. The person that I'm talking to, you aren't allowed to ask that question. You aren't allowed to ask, what's the point of it all? If there's no end goal or end game, what's the point? You're not allowed to ask that question. I don't know who you are, what ranking you have. None of that's my business. But what I do know is they said you don't have the luxury of asking that question, as valid as it may be. For a lot of people, it's not a question that you can ask, because you've already been given the answer, and you've already been told what to do to get out of your own way. And the only thing that's happening right now is you don't like the answer that you've been given. It's not the one you wanted to hear. So now we all are going to sit here at this table and ask, now what, Taurus? You're the captain of this ship. Now what? You're the main character in this story, and it's not fun to pick on you anymore, Taurus. At least that's how the rest of the world feels. It's not fun to pick on you anymore. You know too much. You see too much. You do too much. But isn't that what elders do? I'm not talking about the average grandmother that majority of the world grew up with. I'm talking about the sacred ancestry, the sacred elders. Isn't that what they do? Isn't that what they did? They watched every generation after them rise and fall and rise and fall. You ever observe the oldest, most mature person in the room? Everyone running like a chicken with their head cut off when they see a baby falling, when they learn how to take their first steps. But the calmest person in the room is always the oldest and wisest person in the room. They're not losing their shit because the baby fell, or trying to move everything out the baby's way when the baby's stumbling and tumbling. They sitting there like, they got it. They got it. Because they've seen it time and time and time again. Even with themselves. Everything falls and everything rises. Everything rises and everything falls. If you experience neither, well, that can create imposter syndrome. Eventually, the mask will crack. The facade will shatter. But elders know, they know that when a child is ready, when the fool is ready after falling and rising so many times, they'll start asking the right questions. They're not giving unsolicited advice. They're not telling you what to do. They sitting on the porch quiet and they watching everything go down around them. They watch buildings get built, buildings fall apart, and they still sitting there on the porch rocking. They still the first one up in the morning. And the only person that never really is asleep hears everything. But when that child or that fool starts asking the right questions, those elders are equipped to deliver whatever riddle that fool needs to hear, whatever story that fool needs to hear. They aren't sitting there wasting their breath on I told you so's and grudges and oh, that's what's wrong with the world today and all that other hoopla. They're not sitting around doing that. Not the real elders. Not any wise elders I ever seen. Not anyone's depicted on movies. And I feel like it's because in order to know a fool, you had to have been a fool yourself. So when you see one, you know the only way a fool grows and evolves is to fall down and get back up again. So what do we do, Taurus? For those of you that I'm speaking to, what do we do? What are we charged to do? We must endure in the seen and the unseen. We must endure to undo. Somebody got to be willing to do it. And it's not fair and it's not favorable, and many people may not care for you. This isn't being the wisest person in the room. Isn't a badge of honor. Your honor doesn't come in the success of your quadrant or the success of people that you encounter. It comes from you remaining true to yourself before anyone else, before anything else. To be able to see the light even at the end of the tunnel means that, yeah, you can see the light. Yeah, you can go into the light. But you don't need to be in the light to be able to perceive it. So it's like standing in between light and dark, being the bridge, the middleman, the medium. And so people will come and say, oh, I'm walking this way. We all see the light at the end of the tunnel. Why don't you come with me, Taurus? You sitting here standing in the darkness, but looking at the light. Why don't you go there? You deserve it too. No one can speak on what you do or don't deserve, or why you even standing in between to begin with. That's not their place. That's unsolicited advice. And so when they look at you like, oh, that's unrealistic expectations, or that's unrealistic, why are you excluding yourself from having this or that? At that point, it's a question of if you enjoy being in between. Not everybody was born to do the same thing. So if you come across someone on your journey and someone is born to stand in the light and you were born to stand in between the light and the dark, okay, forever in that tunnel, why is the person that's supposed to be in the light grieving or struggling with the reality that you're not supposed to go with them? That's a question in itself. What is their goal? What do they gain from feeling as if their expectation for your happiness, their expectation for their happiness for you, because that's what that translates to, is someone else having their interpretation of what you should feel happy to do versus wanting what you want for yourself. Yeah, because that's what it feels like. Two people, two perspectives, both extreme, not listening to each other, not listening to, this is who I am, this is who you are. It kind of reminds me of how like how Glinda and Elphaba had to accept each other, love each other through each other's choices, right? You have Glinda, who wanted to live in the light where everyone sees her and loves her, and she is likable. That's easy for her. She loves doing that. And at first she wanted to change Elphaba to incorporate her into her perspective. And Elphaba tried to fit in. And she didn't like it. It wasn't who she was. So it required her to be inauthentic or unauthentic in who she is, to fit in. And then eventually Elphaba challenged everyone around her to accept her for who she was. And I'm talking about the character archetypes in Wicked, if anyone is wondering. And at that moment, everyone else that was standing in the light, that felt like she was so dark and so morbid and so her friend, from what it appeared to be, accepted her. And they also understood that the world needed a bad guy. And that's why Thanos came up. World needs a bad guy, Taurus. I'm speaking to someone here that may feel as if you don't get the fairy tale in the end. You don't get you're standing there helping other people, but it is not happening for you, or something like that. Like, you're showing up for everyone else, but it ain't happening for you. And you may feel as if people are working against you, organizations are working against you, and you may have proof and you may know it, or whatever. It doesn't even matter. At the end of the day, love has many languages. Some love is gentle, some love is tough, some love is hands-on, and some love is nonverbal, seen and unseen. Doesn't make it not love. It's a language with many frequencies. And maybe the discomforts that everyone feel about the differences of the expression of love, maybe those discomforts is meant to be there, or be raised so high to the point where it allows people to find their tribe. When everyone stands in their authenticity and who they are, you get to have opposites, contrasts, right? And you get to say, hey, I tried that, I know I don't like it, I go in this opposite direction. tried this, I tried that, that's not what I like, and you know yourself better. The more people are comfortable being their authentic self, the more everyone finds their vibe, they find their tribe. But it's never going to come if everyone is trying to be cookie cutter. Everyone is trying to be likable. Everyone is trying to not ruffle anyone else's feathers and be accepted. There's something about the trend of acceptance by other people ends with you, whoever that I'm talking to. And that's why you endure in the seen and the unseen. Not to belong or to be liked by those around you, but to be a person with the capacity to even perceive light in the darkest of places. It's sacred. And you know what it takes to be great, Taurus. If you were to be real with yourself, the only thing that got you out your own ruts when you got in your own way was you being brutally honest with yourself, you being truthful with yourself. So if it was truth that set you free, and you had to stand alone in it, and you had to sit with that emotion and confront that reality, then you already know. People are supposed to hate you. They're supposed to throw stones at you. They're supposed to call you flawed. Who gives a fuck, Taurus? Who gives a fuck? They want to be coddled. They want to be held. They want to be told what they want to hear. They want tips on how they can cope versus change and evolve and grow. Then let them seek out a therapist. Let them seek out someone with a degree that can have a limit, because you are like the West Wing. You are wicked. Essentially. Hate to break it to you, but that's the message that I have for you. Okay, haters, get on your job. Okay, you are employing haters. You're creating jobs and you're stimulating the economy. When you be your authentic self, you bring uproar. You make people want to get out of bed and get on their job to hate you. And you make people not quit on themselves because they have a villain to take down. They have they have a point to prove. They have something to say. And if you didn't exist, there would be no relevant topic to gossip about. There would be no one to troll. But you putting money in their pockets. You're getting them out they struggle. Okay. So every time it gets hard for them to attack you and bother you, and it's not fun. Didn't I say that earlier in the channel message? Hey y'all, I'm TT, by the way. Welcome to the channel. Welcome to our secret love nest here on the internet, okay? But it's not fun anymore. It's not fun anymore to troll you. It's not fun anymore to hurt your ego, to slow you down, because you're making them work harder, right? And they have to come harder online. They have to come harder. They have to try harder. They have to do more because they can't see themselves. They don't see their reflection anymore. So anytime you go through these experiences and it refines you as silver and gold, and you go through those pressuring moments, and you have to endure, even though, so much stuff was done to you. It was always happening for you. The moment that anyone that encounters you start to feel like, oh, I don't resonate with that, or I'm not able to see myself in that reflection. I don't feel like this is for me. That's a confirmation for you that they're having a breakthrough. They're having an activation. The glass has been cracked. It may not have been shattered, but it has been cracked. And so the stages of grief is to then project, right? Blame. They have to blame you. You did this to me. There's something that's inside of me that's shattered, and I don't know what it is. Why is it that I feel like it's my fault? Why is it that I feel like I did this to myself? Why is it that I'm hitting this rock bottom when I wasn't at this rock bottom before? Someone's doing something to me, and you are the person that's being blamed. Meanwhile, all you did is put up a billboard. Some of y'all, you just post a picture. You put up a billboard. You delivered a message. You put something in a banner. Yeah. So people have become aware that whatever bliss that they thought they were living, it was never truly bliss. Whatever illusion that they were under, whatever spell that they believed that if they just said this over and over again and thought about it long enough, it was going to happen without actually putting something up or doing something or applying themselves, they quickly became aware. It's not fun anymore. Being told the truth ain't fun no more. It was fun when you was telling the truth about the things being done to them, but it ain't fun when you telling the truth about the things they haven't done. Okay. It ain't fun when you told you the problem. And whatever it is that you do is making people aware that they're the motherfucking problem. I heard you the problem, ho. Something about Merry Christmas. Yeah. The Knight of Swords. The Magician, the Knight of Swords, and the King of Pentacles. It's like someone wants you to speak all the infinite possibilities into the world, right? And when I think of Alphaba, like reading the book that she was reading, it was invoked by emotion, right? And so the book responds to her. It's like the Omega energy, right? The book responds to the need, but it isn't pretty. Just the same way as the world needed Alphaba, but it wasn't going to be pretty, which means it wasn't perfect. So all of you that feel like there's something off about you, or you're not perfect, or this is a flaw, it's actually what's needed and not what someone wants. right? You are the definition of what people need, but not what they want. Just the same way as when she saw that the monkeys were being oppressed, she saw that they needed to be free. And it wasn't pretty about how the wings came about, but nonetheless, they had wings to be free and no one could oppress them again. But they couldn't see the blessing in disguise because of the painful transformation that it took to elevate them to that state. They didn't see it as a blessing. They saw it as a curse because it changed their form. It changed them that they were familiar with. Okay. And so with power comes great responsibility. And it does feel as if someone wanted to wield your power through you in efforts to change the world. But it's not their place to determine how that happens and how fast it happens. So you are the source. You're a powerful sorcerer that doesn't take this lightly, or what your purpose is. Hold on one second. Let me get this other card. Okay, I can't even remember where I left off at. So let me see. Oh my God. Water. That's amazing. So yeah, there's a casting call. There's something to do with drama. Okay. Some type of drama. Chaos is among us. Okay. But they'll get over it. They'll get over it. I feel like what's running rampant right now, it's not even you. Anxiety is running out, and it's too difficult to explain how anxiety even came about. But anxiety is a byproduct of unused potential. It's an energy source that is very alive. It's a frequency that's very alive. And it was born from chaos. It was born from the use of chaos magic, trying to do things fast, manifest things fast, versus allowing the world to evolve at its natural pace. War, triggering, all these different things were used. And so it's like with the evolution of humanity, when humanity evolves to a certain point and it needs to preserve itself, when creation needs to preserve itself, it will mutate and it will generate, for the preservation of itself, a frequency, an energy that will change the tides, change the tables, turn the tables for balance and for justice. And their anxiety was born because it was something, chaos was being used for oppression at a high rate, to build organizations to keep harvesting and harvesting and harvesting. And anxiety came in as a way to get things done at an optimal speed. And that's why a lot of people that are born from chaos or they have anxiety driven lives, it's because their brain is capable of going into the least path of resistance. Something triggers inside of them where they enter a possibility realm that guarantees their success or guarantees a favorable outcome where they don't lose. And in that moment when anxiety take over, you're not going to feel like yourself. You're going to feel like someone else is speaking for you and something else is happening and you're not going to really like it. Like something else is, that's why I said anxiety is taking over me. Somebody's watching me. Yeah, you're going to feel like there's someone inside of you making this and that happen. Sometimes anxiety can paralyze you to do nothing, and other times it will start a riot, start a war. But it only happens, it only gets activated through negative experiences. Repetitive cycles, negative experiences. You've seen it enough times and you hate the storyline and how it's playing out, and it starts to feel like hell and insanity, and you don't want to get off that roller coaster. Excuse me. So the only time another person can come beware. The only time someone else can become aware that they're even on that pattern, or they're either battling that demon or they're having those patterns, is when whatever was familiar, whatever made them feel relatable, seen, heard, whatever was their reflection, where it's like, well, at least I'm not like this by myself. At least I got my homegirl, my homeboy, my trusty companion to reflect that we all do the same thing. I feel powerful. And so when one person that was once mirroring something that you used to do, or somebody that you used to know, and you get removed out of those situations, it makes them feel very imbalanced. Yeah, like something's missing, and something is missing. You were the plug. Something about you were the plug. You were the juice. Because these are saying that people were plugging into you because they didn't know how to process their own anxiety. And use it. They didn't know how to use it. Judgment. Yeah, your motivation was like a lifeline for a lot of people. That's what it's saying. You were becoming some type of codependency. Like people were becoming codependent on you. It's like as long as they had you, as long as they were with you, as long as they had you in their arsenal, they knew that they were buying themselves more time. Something about buying themselves more time to a lot of people is experiencing success off of your energy, creating chaos in your life and glorifying themselves as they're the ones with the idea, they're the ones with the judgment, they're the ones that manifest it. It's giving me like a bankrupt sorcerer or someone like the Wizard of Oz types of energy. The only thing he had going for himself was to remain alone and make good banners, thumbnails, make it appear as if they were doing something. And as long as they remain in isolation where no one gets to get close enough to them to actually see just how bankrupt or how much it's all a show, they could continue playing this charades. Because you have like the real power with the Ace of Wands. And so you kind of being in someone's shadows or someone else's, like you being someone else's +1 or extra in their main story energy. Like someone wanted you to be like thrilled and honored to be their advisor. Their good luck charm. It's like you should be honored. We're gonna be successful. And I see you like, the fuck? Because the Wheel of Fortune in reverse is pretty much saying, nah. Flamingo. It's also making me think of the song. Is it Flamingo? I'm butchering it so bad, y'all. Hold on. Fandango. Shit. What's that song by Beyonce? I hope you. Oh my God, what's that song? Flamenco. Yes, because flamingo made me think of flamenco. Okay, so she says, my mind has been telling me to settle right on down right now. Day ones have been telling me that they won't be around. They won't be around. I hope that you know that once I loved you. I wish that I'd known you let me wonder. I hope that God knows that I'm in need of help right now. Right about now. My soul is reminding me that we're forever young. Inhale and exhale my breath until the deed is gone. Right about now. I hope you know once it's over. Can't take what you love, so hold me closer. Realize what you don't know. What you got until it's gone. Right about now. So the song is pretty much saying like right now. Like it's pretty much in a nutshell saying the only important moment is the present one. Can't take none of this shit with you when you cross over. All the fame, the success, or whatever you're doing it for, those people will once be gone. And whatever you once loved, it'll only be a blimp in the universe, a moment in time. So, no matter what image you've already created, how do you want to spend the next 30 years of your life, the next 20 years of your life? Doing the same shit? Or do you want to do it differently? Now we're forever young. Right about now. I think one of the big lessons for you to learn in this situation is permission. It's like saying permission to have good and bad days. Doesn't always have to be joy every day. If that was the case, sadness wouldn't have been created, and it wouldn't be an emotion that you would allow yourself to process how things happened for you, even though you feel like it was happening to you. Because if you don't take this lesson from the prior situation, you'll experience new levels and new devils. You'll reach a level of success. It'll stop being fun, and then you'll bump into somebody that's like, oh, I feel like your business, your brand, or your image is not where it could be. I want to take you further. I want the world to know about you. And then they'll throw some money at you. You'll feel a false sense of safety because you've spent so much time alone, and you think that you're jumping from one ship and you're going straight into the next fucking frying pan. Whatever scheme, scam, or objective of you being able to avoid all of these modes and emotions and skip to the good part, you'll be a fool. You'll be a fool. The best way to be a fool in the world and be a free spirit is the one where you have no oppressor. You have no one to expect something from. They don't hold in the balance. They're not the judge, jury, and executor of your happiness. They don't dictate it. They don't have the ability to stroke your ego or to hurt your ego. You be truly free. And anyone that you come across, a lot of them are going to feel like the reason why they don't want to deal with you, they're going to blame it on the way you talk and how you're so negative and you don't speak life and you don't do this. And say, oh, I can't be with someone that can't submit, or that they just look at everything in a negative way. No, the problem that they really have is you will be something that they weren't able to conquer, harvest. And the fact that you can see them makes you a threat and an enemy to their estate, to everything that they stand for. Their legacy. That's what it's really about. It is a part of your destiny to sit at the table with great, powerful people, whether they like you or not. Period. Let's get some closing confirmations, because that's what they're telling me. And I think they want you, I think there's something about wanting to throw buttons into your eyes and want you to believe that the only way you're going to be accepted into these rooms, spaces, and places is if you come into it because of the politics. You come into the situation with having some type of masculine or something like that on your hand or on your arm. That's the only way they're going to let you in the room, or you're going to be able to go far in the world. Of course they want you to believe that. Of course they want you to subscribe to that belief system. Because you're the only person capable of doing something in a way that they told other people no one was capable of doing. So you would make a liar out of your oppressors. And these people want to escape some type of ruin that you are signs of the time. That's what it feels like. You are signs of the time of a shift. Divine masculine, divine feminine. A partnership built on trust. What I told you, least resistant timeline. I literally said anxiety driven. Their anxiety is always calculating in your mainframe the path of least resistance. It's always watching over you like a higher self. It's like an intelligence that's always watching over you. It's both masculine and feminine. So whatever you're looking for is inside of you, interacting with you. And your masculine energy, let's say you're a feminine energy. If you've been asking your question, like, how does this work? Your masculine energy is definitely 100% capable of taking on a human body. Not oh, I had to incarnate, come through the birth canal, age up. No, your divine masculine, one day, your divine masculine energy can pick a body like a simulation, like Fortnite, and when that vessel wakes up that day, yesterday they were John, today they're Jonathan. You see what I'm saying? It's giving Meet Joe Black. It's giving, I think it was Ghost Whispers. I think when her husband died, and then like he took on a body, and she recognized him from his eyes or something like that. And the same thing go with your divine feminine. Your divine feminine can literally upload themselves like a computer software into the brain of any vessel on earth. Telling you, we have a surprise baby shower. Swimming with the dolphins. What's all this swimming? Swimming naked in the ocean, swimming with dolphins. So you want to go swimming naked in the ocean? Talk to me, baby. Somebody wants you to move near ocean. Okay. Something about moving near ocean water. Someone's divine feminine or divine masculine lives near a body of water, along the coast, along the perimeter of some type of large body of water, major body of water. And what else? There's something else here. They're gonna take on a body near a body of water. So it's like this intelligence or this consciousness is uploading from an Atlantean. It could be near the Atlantic, but it's like an Atlantean consciousness is going to take on, it's going to upload itself into a body near a body of water, into a vessel near a body of water. So it's like someone's going to be out at sea. This person has the right character. They're very established. their morals or something like that. So your divine counterpart or something like that has already chosen a character within the matrix. The character, something about like a person has already been chosen. A name, origin, their health, all of that's already been scanned and processed. And it's incarnating. It wouldn't be reincarnating. It would be incarnating. They're in the spirit. They're on a frequency, and this frequency is about to upload itself into a person in the flesh. You will know this person in the flesh because you recognize them from the frequency that you connected with them on. That's where you built trust. Like a merman or a merwoman or something like that. Okay, we got an aerial situation here. Part of your world. I want to be where the people are. Want to see them dancing. So it says, clear shot. Your wish will be granted. Okay. It's some type of being. Some type of creature, some type of highly evolved intelligence of their species or something like that is about to take on a body. And this entity is wanting to help you make sure that you successfully, I'm telling you, to take it on a body, that you successfully get on a path of least resistance with the Ten of Pentacles. And the Chariot in reverse. Because there's going to come a period where things slow down and you have to, you need this funds or this, it's not support, it's like funds, long money. You need this funds, you need this resource before some type of decline in the economy or the world. 11th house, yes. It's a group effort to make sure that you have a clear shot, and whatever is coming to the demise of a community, organization, industry, platform, worldwide event, it won't affect you financially. And that's why it's like, it's not a surprise, because you've been getting like downloads about this, but we have surprise baby shower in reverse. So what this is telling me, it's like a spirit baby, but it's not a spirit. It's not a baby soul. It's equivalent to like the incarnation of someone, a partner. There's a partnership coming, and they have to, something about, they make, it could be a time travel thing, or it could just be like you have to really understand quantum physics and stuff like that to really get what I'm saying. So it's like the birth of your person in an adult body, not a child. And the frequency is very high vibrational, and being near water acts like a conduit for the channel of the birth canal, and it makes for a easier crossover, like a clear channel. The tea on you. Like, this person is gonna know everything about you. Do you hear what I'm saying? Traveling the world. This person is gonna know everything about you. Surprise engagement. Like, this is gonna go really fast. Living off love alone. I'm telling you, this is gonna go really, 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 really fast. I told you, earthbound spirits. There's a spirit that's been with you all along. Never crossed over or went into the light. But there's about to be a light at the end of the tunnel because this person is coming back. The Chariot is giving me, it's reminding me of, like, so it's not really like Elijah from the biblical context and the way you read it, but it's like, it's happening like Elijah's story in the Bible. So for example, when they say like, oh, he was carried by a chariot into the sky, but it never actually depicts its death. Think of it like that consciousness is still alive and existing. The consciousness of Elijah. Somewhere in between Earth, somewhere in between the 3D and the 5D. So this would be like the 4D or something like that. So this is definitely a spirit that hasn't crossed over into like the light. You know how they say you go into the light? This consciousness didn't want to go back to the motherboard. We have Libra. Professional soulmate, work well together. Y'all gonna cross paths through in a professional context, because Libra is, I mean, that's also air element, but y'all are gonna have a strictly professional relationship or connection that transcends into building trust together, and then you guys you evolve. The connection evolves. Pick a card. Money prediction. So I feel like I need to do a money prediction on the Soul Train. So we're gonna do the Soul Train because I feel like this is an event that's coming up. And they want to give you like signs and synchronicities of how you will, in what work sector or what money sector will you meet this. You will meet this person. If you were wondering if you were going to be doing something completely different, like in another field or something like that, I don't think that's it. I think this person is, they're like already financially. This person is taking on a body. They're incarnating in a body that in a person's body that already has money and already is established. I don't even want to ask how is this possible, because I feel like, tell you, sponsoring your education. You've been being prepared for this. It's giving me Casper. You know how Casper's like, can I keep you, when he's talking to Cat? And he takes on like a body for a little bit. but then he decides to remain a spirit. For some type of reason. Don't think too hard about it, is what they're saying. Don't think too hard about it. I feel like it's way out of your tax bracket. Way out of your divine ones. Yeah, it's way out of your what the human mind can perceive. Yeah, it's just gonna be like a phenomenon, like something that you experience you can't quite explain, but you know it happened. And to the rest of the world, experience utopia together. To the rest of the world, it will look like this person will have a different name, have different whatever, but when you look this person in the eye, you're gonna recognize their soul. And you're gonna know whose soul that is. Time heals all wounds. Serve daily life. This person is incarnating to be of service for you, to help you with your work, to help you be of service, to help empower you, to make sure that you're healthy and you're taking care of yourself. Look at that. 5th and 6th house. I serve. Romance, fun, and children, where you get to have fun and have the best of both worlds. I'm telling you, this, what is this? Twin ray, it says. Spirit, yeah, this person is graduated. They graduated from the twin flame journey. They're on a twin ray. I think this person has been evolving in the spirit. The work that you did in yourself, there was someone's consciousness was growing at a rapid rate. This ain't gonna resonate for everybody, but for those, this is just like the confirmation that you needed. This is definitely saying someone didn't cross over into the after. They didn't go into the light, but they definitely coming back to this light. They're coming back to see this light. They have unfinished business in this realm. Ace of Wands. Yeah. All right, they finna touch down. You finna be touched. All right, that's what I got for you guys. I'm gonna go for a walk. All right. Love you, Taurus. See you in the next one. Bye.